I need to remember. Using my nose made me kind of forget. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into this week's video, I wanted to let you guys know that we're going to be starting a new video series. In some of our previous videos, we had a lot of really cool close-up macro shots that just never made it into the video because we didn't want to make the video last too long. So because of that, we're going to start taking a lot of those clips and rolling them into one video called Macro Monday. It's going to be the first Monday of every month, and we're really excited to be able to get a chance to use all those clips that just didn't quite make it into previous videos, but they're still awesome clips in my opinion. You're probably wondering why I'm wearing these gloves, and that's when we're going to start getting into this week's video. So in last week's video, we introduced the fact that we're going to be doing a live stream event with two 10-gallon aquariums. Our plan is to make one of them is going to be a sealed ecosphere, and the other one's going to be a sealed terrarium. Now, it is going to be a live event, kind of a choose your own adventure kind of thing. So in the time leading up to that, we're going to start gathering different materials to give choices to the audience. And ultimately, when we make these live on the live stream, the audience is going to choose what's actually going to go into them. So we're going to have various different things for them to pick from, and then based off of what they decide, they're going to basically be able to build the aquarium, but really ecosphere terrarium. So we're really excited for that. Now the glove part. We just got some glass cut to size so that we could seal up these 10-gallon tanks. We just went to the local hardware store, and they do have the ability to cut these pieces of glass down themselves. So we got this nice fancy piece of glass here cut to size, and it sits just perfectly inside of the lip on here. That way, once we make the ecosphere or terrarium, we can set a nice bead of silicone around here and seal it up and see what goes on. With our previous projects, we've been, obviously we have to store them somewhere, and that's right here is where we've been putting them. The one problem is this shelf really doesn't have a great place to place lighting, and because of that, we've been using these empty screen reptile tanks to kind of support the lights above it. If you bought different lights where you can kind of hang them, it's a little bit easier, but the lights we have were made for reptile tanks, so they basically are intended to just set on top of it. So because of that, they don't have any convenient hangers built into them or anything like that. So what I wanted to do today is make something to kind of hold these lights above so I can take these screen tanks off of this shelf and reclaim a lot of the space that has been taken up on the shelf because of these screen tanks. It's good audio. Yeah. What I'm going to be doing with this is I'm going to be seeing how wide the whole panel is, and then I'm going to see how wide this is. And so I'm pretty sure it's 4 feet wide for the panel. Just barely underneath it. All right, so overall, simply put, all I'm trying to do is I'm just basically going to center this on the board, and I'm measuring this, and then I'm measuring this, and using that to find the center. But the whole overall plan for this is I'm going to be having 2 sets of lights on here, and with the 2 sets of lights, I'm going to be hanging basically a little support piece of wood, and it's going to go underneath the light like this. And I'm going to be using some Velcro to also hold it in place. But this support that's going to be having 2 lights on top of it is then going to be hanging from chains underneath this. So I'm going to be putting a bolt or an eyelet through here, so that way on the bottom I can hook a chain onto it, and then I'm going to have one coming out of here. So this will support the lights. I can adjust them up and down, and it will clear up room on the shelf itself. We don't really put much stuff on top of the uppermost shelf, so I'm not too worried about having a little bit of the metal sticking up above it. So that's not a huge concern to me. Yep, looks good. There's no real reason why I'm using this as the distance away from the front or the back. It's just an easy way for me to measure or like something consistent between the two. So. turned out pretty good. Yeah. I didn't think it was gonna go this easily. I figured something was gonna go wrong. Oh. And it actually, in my opinion, looks pretty nice. And I am not worried at all. Nah. And I can lower it too.